It's JB talking EVs in Skokie. This Tuesday, Governor Pritzker was on hand when ComEd presented the village of Skokie with a $45,000 electric vehicle rebate. The funds will help the Illinois village as it works to electrify all of its police, fire, and public works fleet. Village leaders say there's a 60% increase in electric vehicle usage in Skokie since last year, resulting in a more than 4,600-ton reduction in greenhouse gas emissions over that time.
The Skokie Fleet Electrification Program is a sterling example of what smart, sensible environmental policy looks like. Skokie is an example to other municipalities of how to fight the climate crisis affordably and aggressively.